Today I will be discussing about Islamic stance on music. As far as I know, there is no clear-cut Quranic ayat or clear-cut hadith, Sahih hadith, authentic hadith, which prohibit music in general. There are one authentic, although some scholars have even said that even though that hadith is not authentic, that is the hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, where Prophet peace be upon him has hadith has been attributed to Prophet peace be upon him that a group amongst my ummah will consider uh, use of private parts, alcohol, and silk and music to be lawful. Now, due to this hadith, most of the ulama, or I would say the popular opinion is that they consider that this means that music is haram. Why it is haram? Because they think that music has been mentioned along with the things which are unlawful, and the hadith says that since the people will consider the zina, silk, and alcohol to be halal, that's the reason. Even since even the music is mentioned along with it, that so even the music is haram. Now, first of all, before this is a muallaq riwayat in Bukhari, and it has also come through other chains, but even that chains has been criticized by the scholars, especially by Lama Shawkani and Imam Ibn Hazm. They did consider the music to be halal, but some for the sake of argument, let's first ignore the authenticity of the hadith for a while. Then you will notice that the Prophet peace be upon him is supposed to have said that at the end of the times, uh, the Arabic word used for illegal sex is that they will consider private parts to be halal. Now the question comes that are all private parts haram? I mean, if a person is having sex with his wife, is it haram? The answer will be no. So this hadith is actually speaking of a particular private part. That means people will consider unlawful intercourse to be haram. But the hadith, the wording used in the hadith is they will consider the private parts to be halal. And also the next point is that uh, they say that since the music is also mentioned along with it, therefore the music is also haram. So I would argue that rather than going through this logic, you can apply the music which involves zina, the music which involves the use of alcohol, and the music which involves a party like of scene, the music which involves showing off or takabbur, that music is haram. So even if we agree with this hadith clearly does not say that the music is haram. It it may imply that the music in which there is alcohol, there is zina, or the music which leads to alcohol and zina, and this party like a scene, party kind of a scene like disco, and how we have that uh, parties that we have in the 25th December and 1st January, those parties are haram. So this is what has is been implied by the hadith itself. The hadith itself does not say that the music is haram. So what we can conclude from this hadith that the music in which there is alcohol, the music in which there is unlawful intercourse, the music in which there is a party-like scene, or the music which leads to all these things, that music is haram. So anything which leads to haram is also by that logic haram. On the other hand, there are various hadiths in which the Prophet peace be upon him has uh, has permitted daf, and there are many hadiths in which the Prophet peace be upon him said that between the lawful and the unlawful is the playing of daf in marriage, because you need to announce the marriage, And in another hadith, Prophet peace be upon him even asked Aisha radiallahu anha that was there any entertainment in the marriage of the Ansar, as Ansar loves entertainment. And there are various hadiths from which we can derive that people did play musical instrument like the, and many hadiths. So those scholars who say that the music haram, they say that uh, all musical instruments are haram except the daf, because of all these hadiths which permits the daf. Now that's quite an illogical stand according to my humble opinion, because how can you say that if this has been the case, Prophet peace be upon him would have clearly mentioned that all musical instrument is haram except the daf. The Prophet peace be upon him never said so. What Prophet peace be upon him, in fact, what Prophet peace be upon him did or say is different from what the scholars are saying. The scholars say that every musical instrument is haram except the daf. But there is no such statement of Prophet peace be upon him made that every musical instrument is haram except the daf. So the point is, even if we consider this opinion of the scholars that every musical instrument is haram except the daf, so this does not make any sense. It's like saying that every alcoholic drink is haram except the whiskey, or every alcoholic drink is haram except brandy or another kind of thing. So if something, if you uh, if there is a haram thing mentioned in the song, that song can also be sang in the daf. And if there is a halal thing in the song, that can be also played in the instrument other than daf. So this stands that every musical instrument is prohibited except the daf. I think it's a very illogical and weak stand from this point, because you can even have something unethical and you can play that with the daf, and you can even have something which is not unethical, not immoral, and you can play it with the instrument other than the daf. So this is my stance on music, that any music which leads to haram is itself haram, and music which does not lead to anything haram, that itself is not haram. So we have to look at the content of the music. The content of the music, or the content of any form of entertainment, will decide whether that entertainment is halal or haram. That's the simple thing. Also, Prophet in the Quran itself, in Surah Araf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that who has prohibited you the zina of this world and the good things. Allah has only prohibited you from shirk, from immoralities, whether that be open or whether that be hidden, from sins, or from not performing your Islamic duties, or from doing and transgressing against someone, and speaking about Allah which Allah has not spoken, attributing to Allah which Allah has not spoken. In other words, bidah. So only these things are prohibited by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already declared in Surah Araf what He has prohibited. I mean what categories of things He has prohibited, apart from those things which are hidden by people. So this is my stance on music.